We have JDA Dijon hosting Lietkabelis from Lithuania. It's game day 12 of 14 of the Basketball Champions League regular season. And this is a big-time game, especially for Lietkabelis, who still has a chance to progress to the playoffs. Meanwhile, JDA Dijon have been eliminated. But you can see here in Group C the action. Jerusalem getting a big win yesterday over Chesnenberg. And then two more big games today between Antwerp and Brose Bamberg. And, of course, Montaquit Fuenlabrada and Ike. But it's about Dijon and Lietkabelis here tonight. Thank you for tuning in into another FIBA broadcast. Of course, these two teams have seen each other back in game day 5. Lietkabelis winning that matchup 78-62 at home. And take a look at the standings. Dijon currently in 7th place, Lietkabelis in 5th. That's actually where these two teams were in the standings the last time they faced off against each other. And Antwerp looking to solidify that 4th spot, the chance to get a win against Brose Bamberg, which will be a tough game for them. Meanwhile, there you see the two coaches shaking hands from Dijon, Laurent Lenyem, and from Lietkabelis, Coach Dedat Chanak, the Serbian head coach. As we approach the final couple games of the Champions League, you can see the roster here for Lietkabelis. Keep an eye out for Jamar Wilson, the veteran point guard, has been a difference maker, but also Ziga Dimec, the Slovenian big man, coming alive. Had a big game last week, 16 points in a tremendous victory for this Lietkabelis side over Brose Bamberg, not allowing them to qualify for their spot. Meanwhile, Dijon will be looking at Axel Julien, the French national team player. You see him right there, the point guard, top of the key with the ball. And also Gavin Ware, who has been one of their best inside players. And of course, David Holston, number 11. He may only be 5'8", but he's got the heart of a lion, coming in as a leading scorer, 12.9 points per game, 43% three-point shooter. Jérémy Leloup, one of those guys who does a little bit of everything. Had 4 steals, actually, the last time these two teams faced off. So he'll be bringing that energy on the wing as expected. Ryan Pearson right there, who has had some good games and some games of kind of poor performance, we'll say. But he's 7 points per game. Also, Alexandre Chasson coming in at just below 10 points per game on 64% shooting from the field. So we'll see if all those guys can put together a strong performance as a unit. Meanwhile, Lietkabelis will be counting on Simas Jasaitis. He's at 9.6 points per game. Their leading scorer actually comes off the bench most games. Karinauskas at 10.4 points per game. The 6'6" shooting guard has had some nice games as of late. And now we're going to have the player introductions for the Lithuanian side of Lietkabelis. So those are the players for Lietkabelis. Again, 4-7 record, currently in 5th place here in Group C. And now we're going to hear the players from the home side, Dijon. You see Jamar Wilson. You might recognize him from field play, who suits up for Finland. Also has had an extensive European record. Him and David Holston should be a phenomenal watch out to keep an eye on. So those are the players for JDA Dijon. We'll just call them Dijon for the rest of the game, most likely. And again, the French side, who just 3 wins thus far in the BCL. They've managed 10 wins in the domestic league in France. But they have made it to the final 8 of the Leaders' Cup in France, which is a pretty big deal. Meanwhile, Lietkabelis come in at an overall record of 16-15. They're still in playoff contention. They need to win their last 3 games and finish with a 500 record of 7-7, and also hope that the things don't go right. Meanwhile, the referees for today's game from Turkey, Yener Yilmaz, from Montenegro's Ratko Ruticic, and from Greece, Vasiliki Tsaroucha. So a couple things to look out for. Again, these 2 teams have played against each other. Just to recap that game a little bit, the scientist had 16 points to lead the way for Lietkabelis. He's likely to be in the starting 5, and you can see him there at number 13. Meanwhile, the point guard, Jamar Wilson, will be starting alongside Paulius Valinskas in the backcourt, Donatas Taurolis, the big man, and then Ziga Dimesh inside round out the starting 5 for Lietkabelis. That means that Kulvietis will be coming off the bench. Also, Mike Morrison, who was one of those guys who can give you a little bit of everything for Coach Chanak, will likely be coming off the bench here tonight. And then that last battle between these two, Lietkabelis dominant on the glass, winning the rebounding battle 37-26. They led by as much as 18 points in that game, and also led for about 33 minutes, so they controlled pretty much the entire time. So Dijon will be counting on guys like Ryan Pearson to replicate the output he had last time against these Lithuanian side. Pearson in the starting lineup alongside Gavin Ware in the front court. And then a 3-guard lineup for Dijon as they go with David Holston, Axel Julien, and Obi Emigano in the backcourt. So you see there are 2 point guards, 2 distributors, which will likely help them stay organized on offense and also apply a lot of pressure defensively. Let's listen into the whole new
Axel, Obi, get back, get back. Okay, and you know what you did on position. Okay, 5 turn, pick in the mid, fist. Careful, fist. First move, like 4. Okay, be careful with that. Okay, after guys, like David tells, send it. Please get it, really active on the edge. No split, active. And you know, sure they use the wheelies with the passing game. We act about that. Okay, move the wings, the ball is in the air. Was tall, keep a wall, no 2 points inside, guys. Okay, aggressivity on the ball without the
So you can hear the head coach there for Dijon urging us to make sure his team gets back on defense consistently.
You're right, okay? Let's go, guys, go! Left!
So just moments away now from the opening tip here in Dijon, in France. Gavin Ware led the way for Dijon last time these 2 teams matched up, 13 points for him. The team only shot 5 of 22 from 3, and they'll definitely need to knock down more outside shots if they want to get the win here tonight. And also hold Lietkabelis to better than, well, below, ideally for them, probably we'll say 45% shooting. Lietkabelis shot 54% the first time these 2 teams saw each other. But Lietkabelis have to do things differently. They've lost all 5 of their away games in the BCL this season, never scoring more than 77 points in an away game. And again, for you fans who might not remember, the top 4 of this 8-team group will advance to the playoffs. So, of course, with Lietkabelis being right on the outside of that top 4 in 5th place, they're going to do everything in their power to get the win here on the road tonight. We'll see what Dijon has to say about that. And the referee throws up the opening tip. Ware tips it over to Emegano. David Holston running the show for Dijon. Initiating the offense. Gets to Emegano. They go right inside looking for Ware. Posting up. Double team comes. And it's a steal. So a turnover on the first possession for Dijon. And you can see there the defensive awareness for Lietkabelis. And Holston strips it away from Wilson. Loose ball. He tips it out ahead. And Megano tries to chase it down. Knocks over the banner. Bit of a sloppy start here. And the three-pointer is knocked down. Yasaitis, the first basket of the game. So up and down, we're about to go. As Simas Yasaitis gets the opening bucket from beyond the arc. Here's Ware. Passes on the high-low to Pearson. Eventually gets it to him. Julien now from way downtown, and he knocks it down. Axel Julien feeling very confident in the outside shot. No closeout, too much room. Julien knocks it down, and both teams now opening up the scoring with three-pointers. D-Match on the pick and roll. Oh, nice find inside, and Tarolis able to finish. Some good ball movement that time from Lietkabelis. Here's Julien again. Little hesitation, gets around the defender, takes the bump, and he'll head to the free throw line. The referee seemed to have waited to see if that ball was going to go through the hoop, but since it didn't, decided to blow the whistle. And you see there the contact forcing Julien to the ground. Simas Yasaitis picking up his first personal foul. So Julien comes in just below 9 points per game, knocks down his first free throw. Also 5.2 assists per game. And between him and David Holston, both of them averaging more than 5 assists. So a backcourt that likes to share the ball. Holston putting the pressure on Wilson in the backcourt. Wilson using the Magic Johnson type of back down to keep the ball away this time. Holston already getting his hands on one of his dribbles. There's D-Match now inside. Double team comes, and it's taken away. Chance here to run for Dijon and Megano. Holston will pull back between the legs. Hezi gets inside and scoops it in off the glass. Nice move that time from David Holston. And he's got his first two. And it's going to be very hard for guys like Yasaitis to stay in front of the smaller, quicker Holston. Here's the three-pointer on the way. Knocked down again. This time Valinskis. So both teams knocking down a couple of shots here in the opening minutes. And we might be in hand for a high-scoring affair. Pearson, high-low to Ware. Has the position and uses the rim to protect from D-Match. Laying it up and in. So Ware now on the board with his first two. Wilson crosses over. And Ware's going to be called for the reach. You see that there, the big man trying to stay in front of Wilson. And you see here the great high-low pass from Pearson inside to Ware. Ball deflected out of bounds, but it'll stay with Lietkabelis. And Megano gained the deflection. So 9-8, haven't even played 3 minutes yet. Yasaitis, oh, Holston, another steal. 3 on 2. Julien running the floor, attacks the basket hard and knocks it in. Lays it in, I should say. And another assist for Holston. Another transition bucket. Julien already with 7 points here early on. As Wilson, uncontested layup, got by Ware, who didn't want to pick up his second foul. So not much defense here in the opening minutes. Though you're not going to hear these fans complain. You see both teams perfect from the field. Ware decides to put the ball down and gets called for the travel. So picked up. Take another look here. Picked up the foot before dribbling. A couple of turnovers for each side. Yasites is coming off the double screen. It's, Emagano called for the foul. Seemed like he had got a lot of the ball. Let's take another look here. Yasites exposed the ball. Emagano just took it away, but it's called for the second team foul on Dijon. Here's Wilson now. Gets rid of it. They want to go inside to D-Match. Ware pokes it away. It's another turnover. Julien up ahead to Holston. Goes right at Wilson and gets it up off the glass, and it rolls around and in. Tough finish here. A little bit of contact. Tarolis trying to knock it away. Oh, good help from Emagano. It's another turnover. And Chanak wants a timeout, the next dead ball. Holston, baseline drive. Kind of just throws it up and turns it over right back. Numbers now for Lietkabelis. Wilson, lob. Oh, nice throwdown from Tarolis. And now it's Lietkabelis' turn to run the fast break to perfection. Jamar Wilson head up. Tarolis throws it down. As we get a foul in the backcourt on Holston. And that will lead to the first. Well, it's not going to be a timeout after all, as just a substitution. D-Match coming out of the game. You see here Wilson deflected the ball, and Emagano seems to be wincing in pain on the sideline, so Lelou comes into the game. Holston gets inside again. It's to Pearson, who lays it in with the left hand, and Holston doing a little bit of everything as a playmaker. Wilson facing the hedge from Ware, skips it over to Yasites. Another three on the way. Finally a miss, and they're going to call a loose ball foul. Tarolis seems to have pushed Pearson in the back. So very positive start for Dijon, especially offensively. They've already got 15 points on the scoreboard as Tarolis heads to the bench. Holston with 4 points and 2 assists. Julien gets a screen from Ware, who dives to the basket. Oh, beautiful pass to Lelou in the corner. Three-pointer doesn't drop. Valinskas with the rebound and the push. Decides to pull it out, calls out a play. And a big man inside, Kupchas. Mindaugas Kupchas. A nice little floater. You see the touch from the 7'1" big man. He's really come on as of late. Holston now, little ball handling wizardry. Kick ball will reset the shot clock to 14. Also in the game for Lietkabelis, number 24, Marko Kakarevic. And Karinauskis as well, checking in for the first time. Here's Holston. Three-pointer goes in and out. And Kakarevic secures the rebound. So Karinauskis will pick and pop with Kakarevic inside to Kupchas. Yasites open three on the wing, and he gets his second one of the game. He cannot leave that man open. Yasites, a 50% three-point shooter. You see why. Almost a perfect stroke on that jump shot. And again, Yasaitis comes in at under 10 points per game, already with 6 here in the first quarter. Holston now. Julien looking to answer and gets a 3 again for him. So these two going back and forth from beyond the arc. Holston another assist, and Julien not afraid to let it fly. He's got 10 already, double figures for the French point guard in the opening quarter. Kupchas, no foul called. A chance to run. Dijon, Holston giving up to Pierce. Nice spin. Tough shot though, can't finish, loose ball. Ends up with Yasaitis. Here's Kalinauskis. Kakarevich, open in the corner, the three-pointer. Or is it gonna be a long two? And Sinovic gets his first field goal after just checking in, and it is a three-pointer in fact. So 3 3-pointers now, or 4 3-pointers I should say, for Lietkabelis, a 4 or 5, as Lelou missing the layup. One of the foul call arguing, needs to get back on defense because Kupchas will head to the free throw line. Gavin Ware called for the unsportsmanlike. You see here, didn't make a reasonable play on the ball. And 9 times out of 10, referees are going to call that unsportsmanlike. It's also Ware's second foul. So he'll head to the bench. And the big man out of Mississippi State might be there for a little while. Lunyem not too happy with the call. Kupchas' first free throw short. The big man comes in as a 72% free throw shooter. You see there the no call on Lelou. And Kupchas knocking down the second one. Again, the big man doesn't play that many minutes, usually right under the 20 minutes. But he's had some good games. Last week against Bamberg, 10 points. A couple of games ago against Jerusalem, had 17 points and 10 rebounds for his only double-double of the season. And there's a nice feed inside, and Kupchas will go back to the free throw line for 2 more. And the foul's going to go on Alexandre Chasson, number 22 there on your screen, who just came into the game as well. Chasson, in limited minutes, provides a lot of production for this Dijon side as Kupchas converts the first free throw on this trip. Lithuanian fans who've either made the trip or happen to live in Dijon out here at the game, and another split trip at the line for Kupchas. Holston crossing over, and a foul called on the ground. Third team foul. Holston always has his eyes up, looking for teammates. Gets the high screen from Chasson. Lelou. Shot clock under 5. Pearson has to go to work, takes a mid-range 2 and knocks it down, rattles in. Ryan Pearson showcasing just a little range that time. And the game's back down to 2-point advantage for Lietkabelis. Kupchas can't finish inside and then gets called for the foul, adding insult to injury, compounding the missed shot with a foul, trying to get the ball back from Pearson. And now both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the first quarter. So next team foul will lead to free throws for either side. Chance now for Dijon to tie or regain the lead. They go straight to Pearson on the block. He isolates, faces up, little spin, tries to go through the contact, keeps the ball alive, great hustle. And then the free throw jumper is no good. So Pearson aggressive on that possession, 0 for 2 though. Here's Kakarevich. Chasson all over him. Kupchas sees the help, knocks over Holston. Kakarevich Wing three, another big shot for Lietkabelis, sorry. Fifth three-pointer of the opening quarter. Pearson just a little late on the closeout. So between 7 or 8 second differential, shot clock and game clock. Here's Holston again, gets inside, lobs it up to Chasson. Awkward looking shot, and a chance now for Lietkabelis to get the final shot of the quarter. Kakarevic. And the three at the buzzer, just left short that time from Kalinowskis. But a very entertaining first quarter of action here in Dijon, as Lietkabelis puts up 25 points in the opening 10 minutes. Dijon manages to score 20, and the score after one is 25-20.
In offense is good, guys. No problem in offense. Okay,
take a look at the stats. Some phenomenal shooting from Lietkabelis, both sides, really. You see there the percentages overall. Dijon shooting 53%. Lietkabelis 9 of 12 overall, 75%. Obviously, that's not really sustainable for the entire game, but you gotta like that start. Also, 10 assists, despite only having 9 field goals. Because obviously they're counting assists for free throws these last couple of years. So think about that. Every single made shot has been assisted from the field for Lietkabelis. Meanwhile, already 6 assists on 8 field goals for Dijon. As you check out some of the highlights of the opening quarter, teams combining for 7 made three-pointers in that quarter. The 2 for Dijon coming courtesy of Axel Julien. He's got 10 points on a perfect 3 of 3 shooting. Also 3 steals already for Julien. And the steals was something that really helped this Dijon side the last time. You see there Terrence Kinsey in street clothes, the veteran, unable to suit up here tonight. But in that first matchup, Dijon had 14 steals in the game. You see one there. It didn't lead to any points, but they've been very active defensively, Holston especially. Julien with the 3 steals. Holston has 2 himself. So the second quarter underway here with Jamar Wilson. Julien all looking to defend him. Kakarevic, Kalinowskis, Kupcha still in as well. Chasson obviously at a height disadvantage. Kakarevic, nice kick out. 3-pointer no good that time from Sinovic. Kupcha can't get the putback. Also in the game for Dijon, number 21, see him there in the headband, Abdoulaye Loum, who has been in the starting 5 at certain points of the season. Julien almost turns it over, shot clock at 3. He's got to put it up, tough shot, swatted away from Kupchas, and a 4-on-2 opportunity now. Kalinowskis inside, oh, it's blocked right back by Chasson, and he lets him hear it too. So Chasson just 6'8", managing to swat away the 7-1 Kupchas' shot. So both teams providing a little protection, courtesy of the big man. Oh, Kalinowskis thought about it. Kupchas taking his time. Wilson, the crack back. Kakarevic, no good on that 3-pointer. Good defensive possession for Dijon. And Loum will take the 3. No good. But the rebound ends up with Julien. And Dijon looking to get organized. Loum in the corner, trying to take another one. Decides to drive, and this underhand scoop rolls around the rim, but it doesn't fall for him. Meanwhile, Sinovic, another missed 3. So both teams cooling down a little bit. after that torrid start to the first quarter. It's Kalinowskis inside Kupchis. Oh, good ball movement. Let's see what happens. And it's a nice one-handed runner from Kalinowskis. You see the beautiful passing. Puts the defense off balance. And he's able to convert over the outstretched arms of Chasson. And here's Chasson right back the other way. Oh, almost got an and one chance, but he'll head to the free throw line for 2. Dijon down 7, looking for their first points in the second quarter. As you saw there, Chasson gets hit on the right wrist. And the first free throw rattles in for Chasson. And he goes 2 for 2. Oh wow, Kalinowskis falls down. And an easy steal and lays it in. Jérémy Leloup. We talked about his active defense. And you see there, Kalinowskis just falling, tripping over his own feet, it seemed. And Leloup again defensively applying the pressure. Pekarevich gets by Loom. Another set of extra passes. Wilson splits the double team, kicks it out. Kalinowskis. And with the shot clock under 2 seconds, Dijon commits a foul. Emagano reaching in. But you see the quick passing from Lietkabelis. Kalinowskis, nice feed inside. Dimech takes his time and a tip in from Tarolis. So Tarolis, who just checked back into the game, gets another field goal, his third. He got 6 points. Yasaitis also checking back in, replacing Kalinowskis. Julien. Wilson forcing him away from the screen defensively. Dimech right there, and it's a steal. Here they come, Lietkabelis, Jamar Wilson takes the contact, hard fall, no foul called. Wow, Wilson though, showing great concentration, able to finish. Anticipated the contact, got the shot off. Here's Loom. Seems to be some confusion on the offensive execution. Wilson goes for the steal, Julien gets it by him. Leloup, little pump fake, runner off the glass, tough finish. Nice move from Leloup, as he's made some positive contributions. So Dijon keeps it at a 5-point game. Tarolis will go inside Sinovic. And the foul will go against Dimech, trying to box out Leloup. Well, Dimech and Chasson, as it seemed like Chasson had his arms down on Dimech. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Let's listen in.
P and Abu, P and Chas to switch. Okay. Next call, Axel. Onside. Onside. Okay. P here. Jérémy. Pick here. Okay. Abdou large. For P. Play immediately on the left. Okay, onside. After you have solution on thumb. P, thumb, CZ. You start here. Pick Jérémy. Abdou, good screen, P and off, and white. Okay? On side, you can play like that. On is the same, straight. On down, Axel. You stay on the horn. Play and tap.
You see here again, Wilson forcing the steal.
Every time. Edge.
And Emigano may have gone straight up. But again, no foul called on the contact. Wilson with a hard fall. And despite the no call, still gets the layup to fall.
So Jamar Wilson now at 4 points, 2 assists. Lietkabelis up 5.
Here's Pearson. This is the play they drew up in the timeout, and they turn it over again. So another sloppy pass from Dijon, and a foul on the inside. Going to go against Chasson, trying to battle with Dimich. Giving up a few inches there, as well as a couple of dozens of pounds. Chasson will head to the bench. Gavin Ware comes back in with his 2 personal fouls, so he'll have to be very careful going up against Dimich. David Holston also checking back in. Sinovic, beautiful pass. Dimich throws down the dunk. What a find, and also nice finish from the big man. You see the look off and then the no look froze David Holston inside. Julien, little 2-man action, finds Ware, and he finishes over Dimich. So right back at the big man, Julien. Nice feed and even better catch there from Ware for his 2nd field goal. They bring Ware out, up and on the screen. Wilson attacks, gets inside, little fadeaway, tough shot, Jamar Wilson, but he knocks it down. You see there, creating the separation with the fadeaway. Wilson now with 6 points. Driving kick. Holston puts up the 3. No good. Dimich the rebound. Wilson looking to post up on Holston. They give Dimich a free throw jumper. Hits the back rim. Holston puts on the burst. Loom, top of the key. 3! Knocks it in. Nice looking shot that time from Abdoulaye Loom for his 1st field goal. Left open in transition. Ball went in, got kicked out, moved around the perimeter, and it's back down to a 4-point game. Wilson, meanwhile, will head to the free throw line after taking the bump. Just hoisted up a bit of a desperation shot. But fortunately for him, got the whistle. Lietkabelis shooting 56% from the field. Dijon not too shabby themselves at 52%. And Wilson knocks down the 1st free throw. Both fall for him, and Wilson will head to the bench, replaced by Karinauskis. And Wilson has only managed to hit double figures in 1 of his last 6 games. That was against Ches Nimberg. We had 18 points. Looking much better here today. He's already got 8. And another near turnover, but a whistle on the baseline. So the foul's going to be called on Karinauskis. Trying to reach in the post. See Loom with the mismatch. And Kalinauskis tried to be crafty. Holston finds Ware on the inbounds. And Magano's been very quiet. Over to Pearson. Nice little lefty runner for Ryan Pearson. And it's back down to 4. So Dijon managing to keep it close here in the opening half. Yasaitis can't change that, but Tarolis can. Nobody boxes him out, and he gets the easiest putback he'll ever see. You see there 2 guys going on Dimech. Loom kind of ball watching. And Emigano again with the ball. Hasn't taken a shot yet, Emigano. Ware knocks down the long 2. So the team's just exchanging baskets now here in the last few minutes of the second quarter. Dijon came in at just a shade under 74 points per game, which is 31st in the competition. 3-pointer knocked down. And Paulius Valinskis with his second long-range shot of the game. Here's Pearson. Thought about answering the 3-pointer himself. Gets it back out to Holston. Holston, a little drawback dribble. Gets inside and 1. Another crafty move from Holston. So good with the dribble. Low center of gravity. Able to pull back between the legs, dribble. Gets the defense to step up. And then crosses right back over. Killer crossover. And gets inside around the defense, takes the bump, and finishes. Holston can't convert the 3-point play, though, missing the free throw. So he stays on 6 points. Dijon stays down 5. And another turnover. Numbers for Dijon. Holston. Oh, it's Emigano. Good transition defense from Lietkabelis to prevent layups. Holston, little in and out dribble. And got a nice block there from Dimech. Chance to run, but they throw it out ahead and out of bounds. So Tarolis couldn't get his fingers on the catch. And we're gonna have another timeout here on the floor. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. You see there, just a little too far ahead of Tarolis. Showing off the good hustle, coming right into your living rooms. So Dijon now at 56% shooting. You see the numbers. They've knocked down 3 3-pointers. Lietkabelis already with 6 made threes. Dijon doing more of their damage on the inside of the arc. But they need to step up their defense. Lietkabelis shooting 57% thus far. Also, no Saulius Kulvietis so far, number 12. Hasn't played. Usually you see him in about 26 minutes per game and under 10 points. He's in the lineup, was introduced before the opening tip, just hasn't gotten on the floor. They've played 9 players thus far as Lietkabelis. Meanwhile, an 8-man rotation for Dijon here in the first half. So again, 58, well now even less, but we're in the final minute of the opening half. Dijon with a chance to make it a 1-possession game. You see the zone defensive look. Holston tried to bust up that zone and it works out for Lietkabelis as Kupchis secures the rebound. But a nice defensive adjustment there by Chanak to go to the 2-3 zone out of the timeout and force Dijon out of the rhythm. Nice cut, Yasaitis, and 1. Beautiful feed. Nice, smart cut on the baseline back door. And Pearson reacts just a little bit too late, commits the foul. Yasaitis now a chance to go to the free throw line for the three-point play. You saw there Pearson caught ball watching, and you're taught as an offensive player to cut back door if you see the back of the defender's head. Meanwhile, we're going to get another timeout, as looks like Dijon wants to draw up a final play.
Okay, one shot. Dave, if tweet
Let's listen in.
Okay. Davidir, Axel, Obi, Obi, and Kevin. Basir, Kevin.
Again, both teams doing a good job of attacking the basket in some high percentage shots. And of course, the next job is to make those shots. They've done that here in the first half. Lietkabelis with the advantage on the three-pointers. And that's part of the difference here tonight. Both teams have knocked down 4 free throws in the first half. But another key stat, Lietkabelis 17 rebounds, just 9 for Dijon. Yasaitis doesn't make the free throw, so just like Holston, can't finish the three-point play from the free throw line. Between a 4 to 5 second differential between the game clock and shot clock, you saw the type of play that Lenyam drew up in the huddle. Julien breaks down and then throws the ball away. Another turnover. We've seen a number of those. Here comes Lietkabelis. Kakarevich gets around. Nice block. Gavin Ware swats it away. And what a way to finish the half. Defensively, the basket won't count from half court. Came after the buzzer. David Holston with the range, but Gavin Ware with the big block. As Kakarevich had the step, seemed to have had a chance to get to the rim. You see it here again. Thought he had the easy 2. Gavin Ware says, no, sir. And we'll take another look here. You see the red lights on the basket. And no basket, waved off even before it went through the net. But still, top 10 play nonetheless. And at the half, 44 to 37, Lietkabelis with the 7-point advantage over the home side Dijon. Very exciting first half of basketball. Good offense, both teams playing well. Let's check out the stats again. 12 of 20 from 2, 11 of 18 from 2 for Lietkabelis. Overall, the shooting has been impressive. Both teams at over 53% each. You see the rebounding numbers in favor of Lietkabelis. Also 14 assists in the half, very impressive. 7 steals for Dijon. They've been disruptive, though they've only managed 8 points off of those steals. So Lietkabelis doing a good job of getting back on defense. Meanwhile, the leaders for the game, Julien, the only player in double figures with 10. Tarolis, 8 points and 3 rebounds. He's playing very well. Came in averaging just 6.4 points per game, already surpassing that average in the first 20 minutes. Yasaitis and Wilson also with 8 points apiece. Some balanced scoring for Lietkabelis. They've already had all 9 players who've played so far get into the scoring column. So we'll check out the highlights of the opening 20 minutes before we go to the break. You'll see a number of steals, a lot of steals, and also some 3-pointers, just like that one from Yasaitis. And he got 2 3-pointers to fall in the first half. Julien knocking down 2 long-range jumpers himself. And Holston always playing so hard. He's got 6 points and 3 assists, 2 steals in that first half. In the other Group C action, Antwerp with an impressive 1-point lead at the moment over Broza Bamberg. Not sure too many people would have expected that. Meanwhile, Ike, 13-point lead going into the half over Montaquit Fuenlabrada. So Antwerp on the road, looking to make things very interesting in Group C as they can essentially seal their spot and eliminate Lietkabelis with that win. The other Group C game took place yesterday as Hapoel Jerusalem getting a 31-point win on the road over Chesnenberg. Also today, Pauk with a 50-point victory over Opava in Group B. So a lot of interesting action as we get down to the final remaining game days of the regular season, but we'll be back for the second half here shortly. Stay tuned.
Le prochain match à domicile. C'est dans quelques instants reprise de cette 12e journée de la Basketball Champions League devant les caméras de Canal Plus Sport. Le score est de 37 pour la JDA Dijon, 44 pour Lietkabelis. Il n'y a plus rien n'est joué dans cette 12e journée pour continuer l'aventure de la JDA Dijon Champions League où il va falloir s'accrocher pour une victoire ce soir ici au Palais. Le public qui a fait le déplacement pour soutenir et encourager se fait transcender la JDA Dijon face à sa
Cut. Okay, one guy, you bump, get back. Okay, no inside. Okay, no anticipate. More defense. More defense. Nobody has to fall. Okay? After, 1-1, no drive in the mid. First call, Dave. 4 down. Okay? Good Tiger, good screen. He has the ball. Giving good screen. Dave, 3 or short roll. Watch. Okay. After Dave, call more, turn down Axel, pick invert. You are open, okay? And turn if you anticipate turn, Kevin, you know what you do. Okay? Hey, short roll, pick invert. Okay, guys, short roll, pick invert. And after maybe 1, 2 down. First, you have a ball, 4 down. But please, defense. Let's go.
All right, we're ready for the second half action. Just moments away now with Dijon currently down 7, 44-37 against the road team, Lietkabelis. Of course, the Lithuanian side know that they have to win this game to stay alive, though they will keep their eyes on that score in Bamberg. At the moment, Antwerp with a 1-point lead, 63-62 in the fourth quarter of that game. And there you see the referees giving, just politely asking Le Niem to stay in the coach's box. And Terrence Kinsey also being asked to sit at the end of the bench, given his attire. So Dijon with the first possession of the quarter. David Holston, Gavin Ware, little two-man game action, and it leads to the long two. And you can also see Jérémy Leloup in the starting 5 this time, replacing Obi Emegano. On the other hand, starting 5 for Lietkabelis, the same that started the game. There's Jamar Wilson, and double team on the block, looking to post up Holston. Shot clock under 5, and ball deflected out of bounds. 3.4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Wilson almost seemed to get away with a travel left pivot foot. Long three-pointer on the way, the prayer, and they're calling a foul on Julien. Tough whistle. Tough whistle. Julien only covers his face. Let's take a look here. The contact might have happened on the arm. It's a tough break there for Julien and for Dijon. 3 free throws to come. And the first free throw falls for Valinskas. Knocking down the first 2. And he misses the third, so 2 points out of the 3. And that was nearly a stop as the shot clock was winding down for Lietkabelis. Julien looking to make amends, kicks it over to Leloup. Drives baseline, little dump off pass to Ware. Oh, almost an and one, but it doesn't go through the hoop. So Gavin Ware will have to settle for 2 free throw attempts. Nice pass there from Leloup. Ware point blank range, but just rolls around the rim and then back out again. The Ware converts the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. So Ware now stays perfect from both the field and the free throw line. He's got 10 points despite being in foul trouble early in the first quarter. Lietkabelis, he'll head to the free throw line himself. Strong drive from the Lithuanian. See the ball fake. And 3 defenders converge, but none of them can stop Lietkabelis without fouling. So Lietkabelis missing the first free throw. Gets the second one to go through the net. Holston to Julien. Turns the corner. Runner left short. Yasaitis the rebound. There's Kinsey again. Enjoying his seat with the better view. Velinskis. High screen from Dimech. Oh, nice find. Yasaitis again working that baseline. We've seen that a couple of times now, cutting back door. Yasaitis, great off-ball movement. Dimech, nice pass from the big man. And the lead extends to 8. Yasaitis now in double figures with 10. Lelou, tough pass. Pearson tracks it down. Holston for 3. Big shot for David Holston as he brings the deficit back down to 5. And a near turnover ends up with 3 points for Dijon. That 8-point lead was the largest of the game for Lietkabelis. There's Velinskis. Lelou once again pokes it away using those long arms. He's got the wingspan to really be disrupted defensively. Wilson turns it over. 3-on-2. Julien, head down, nice little Euro step, and he finishes at the hoop. Julien, nice aggressive move, using his speed and strength to get the finger roll. He's also in double figures with 10 now. So 2 players for Dijon, Ware and Julien, 10 points apiece. Velinskis can't get by Julien. Yasaitis for 3. This time it doesn't fall. Numbers. Holston over to Pearson. He draws a foul. The dunk will not count. Foul will be called on Yasaitis. You see there the reach. Timeout on the floor. So 49-46. It's a 1-possession game. Dijon making a little bit of a run. A chance to tie or cut it down to 1 here on this possession. And then Chanak wants to talk it over with his team. So we'll take you into the French huddle first.
Hey, listen. This defense is better. You watch by yourself. There are a lot of situations. Steiger and pick. Steiger, and after 5 come fast, pick and roll. He serves this pass and cut. Là, the 2 guys, no sleeping. Hey, now, pass the legs, get back fast after edge, and 2 guys cross that. No dispass, guys. For the release. And after it's good action. On
See there, Julien.
Okay.
Got 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Doing a little bit of everything for Dijon, keeping them close. 8 steals overall. And Dijon actually came into this game 3rd overall in steals. They average 8.8 a game, just behind Banvit and Prometheus Patras, who both average 8.9. So with a couple more steals here tonight, they can move into that first spot defensively in terms of steals per game. And Holston can't get the long 2. Pearson, the offensive rebound. Julien for 3 on the kick out. No good. Wilson turns it over again. Pearson the breakaway. And he lays it off the glass. Another steal. This time it turns into 2 quick fast break points. Bit of a lazy pass there from Jamar Wilson. Daroli's good hustle. Almost gets a chase down block, but Pearson avoids his hand as Wilson. Another poor decision. And now Dijon all of a sudden a chance to take the lead. The 3 from Pearson, he knocks it in, and all of a sudden Dijon's up 2. What a way to get back into this game. They were just down 8 moments ago, and a 14-5 run here in the 3rd quarter has propelled them ahead. How does Lietkabelis respond? Nice pass to Dimic. And Ware claims that he got all ball, but he gets called for his 3rd personal foul. You see, he was a bit behind the play. And I'm sorry, Gavin, but he might have caught some of that left wrist as Pearson shows off the outside touch in transition nonetheless. Now he's got 11 points, also 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals for him. So you can see the stat line for a lot of these Dijon players, as they have 3 players right now with 2 steals or more. Also 3 players with 4 assists in Holston, Julien, and Pearson. So they've been disruptive defensively and sharing the ball on the offensive end. First 1 or 2 free throws falls for Lietkabelis. Holston, pocket pass, Ware can't get it down this time. Belinskis, oh, nice skip pass. Yasaitis pump fakes the 3, takes 1 dribble in, and the runner goes down for him. Yasaitis has really been feeling it here tonight. 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting. The lead goes back to Lietkabelis. Julien to Holston. Another 3 on the way. Short again. So which team is going to take control of this game in the 2nd half? Dijon made their run. They got back into the game, took the lead for just a moment. Nice pass, Dimic, another backdoor feed. This time it ends up with Belinskis, and that's just beautiful basketball, ladies and gentlemen. The cut, the kick out, the 3-pointer, the bucket, and the lead extends back up to 4. That is now the 7th 3-pointer of the game for Lietkabelis. First one in the 2nd half. Lelou, he drives baseline, takes a bump, and almost got the scoop to fall. It's going to be another foul on Yasaitis, his 3rd. You see there, Lelou getting him off balance with a pump fake. And the 6'7" small forward commits the foul. A little bit of confusion on his face as Gavin Ware checks out of the game. Playing a couple more minutes there with 3 personals. First free throw is good for Lelou. He goes 2 for 2. Holston looking to pry the pressure from Kalinauskis. Belinskis, Kalinauskis have been very quiet. Another steal, and they're going to call a foul in the backcourt as well. Lunyam, one of the unsportsmanlike, as it slowed down the fast break. See the frustration on his face. Pekarevich commits the turnover. And Holston comes away with it. We'll see who they get the steal to. Seems like Holston gets credit for the steal, his 3rd. That's now the 10th of the game. So officially, Dijon now with the most steals in the Basketball Champions League this season. So you can see this is something they've worked on consistently. Very active hands defensively. They force a lot of turnovers. Julien, what a move, what a finish from the French guard, having one of his better games. And he ties this one up at 55. Here's Kupchis, Sinovic for three. Oh, the answer. Again, the ball. You see the big man for Lietkabelis doing a lot of work in that free throw kind of high post area. They play through their bigs, and it leads to another three. Steal here, Sinovic throws it up ahead. Velinskis uses the reverse to protect himself, no good. Dijon coming right back. Holston, Chasson, he can hit that. He does hit that. Three-pointer to tie it up. Timeout on the floor, or no timeout. Oh, a little bit of a confrontation, altercation going on here. We'll take another look on the replay. Cooler heads prevail. They're going to call a couple of technical fouls, it seems. We'll see who they give it to. So a foul called on Lelou. So first here, good chase down from Julien. No foul called as Valencias crashes to the floor. Then Lelou finds Chasson in the corner. You see there underneath, battling for the rebound. Little extracurricular activity. Nice pass from Kalinowskis. Kakarevich, a little bit overpassing. Kupchis, Sinovic loses it again. Holston, another steal, and this time they finally do get the unsportsmanlike. And this could prove very costly for Lietkabelis because Sinovic got called for the technical as part of a double technical in the last call, and now the unsportsmanlike could be a second unsportsmanlike play. So he might be disqualified from the game. And they are pointing to the bench, and he'll have to watch the rest of this one from the locker room. So a very tough 30 seconds for Stefan Sinovic, who went from having no fouls to being disqualified from the game. You see there, dribbles it off his foot, and Holston picks it up. And Dijon picking up a lot of momentum as well. Now with 11 steals, Holston gets a second free throw to rattle in. He's in double figures now. We'll take another look at this tough call for Sinovic. Didn't mean any harm for sure. Meanwhile, Holston and Kalinowskis looking to battle for position. Two-point lead for Dijon. They have the ball. Their largest lead so far, just 3. They can make it a 5-point lead, and he does just that. David Holston, he's been clutch many, many times for this team throughout the season. And he's now had a 4-point possession, I should say. A 5-point possession with the 2 free throws and a 3-pointer. 63-58, 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Holston, a double team, nice cut. Yasaitis can't quite make the catch. Another turnover. You see that Yasaitis thought about the finish, and that's now 14 turnovers for Lietkabelis, as Holston has 14 points and 4 steals to match Julien. Julien, though, throws it away, and they call a travel as his foot hit the ground before he made the pass. So the travel prevents the fast break. You see there, he definitely did have his feet touch the ground. The block from Kupchis. And Lelou gets disqualified after picking up a technical foul, his second tech. So 2 players disqualified in the game. You don't see that every day. Yasaitis converts a technical free throw. So Emagano will check back in for Leloup. Seems to be a lot of frustration on the floor right now. 2 teams competing hard, wanting to win. And a foul off the ball. So the referee is just trying to take control of the game. They're going to call those ticky-tack fouls. This one goes against Ryan Pearson. And free throws as both teams in the penalty. That's a tough call on Pearson as Kakarevic pretty much just ran into him and kind of used his arm to protect himself. But the first free throw falls for Kakarevic. Second one goes down as well. Little pick and roll, Julien Chasson with a long 2. And Dijon continues their great play in this quarter. They've got 28 points now in the third, after managing just 17 in the second. Under a minute to go. And another foul off the ball will send Kupchis to the free throw line. Emagano trying to be physical with the big man. We've seen a lot of fouls called in this quarter, though it's been pretty even. Both teams at 14 fouls in the game. As Abdoulaye Loum replaces Ryan Pearson. Mino gives Kupchis, gets another free throw to fall. You see there Emagano extending that left arm. Not really sure what he's arguing. Definitely some contact. And Kupchis gets both free throws to go down. He's now got 6 points in the game. Illegal screen on Chasson. He kind of dragged that left foot out just too much. And you hear the whistles from the crowd. There won't be free throws, though, unless they call a technical. Actually, it wasn't even the leg, it was the left shoulder. And Lunyam is furious on the sideline. Another technical foul. This one's been coming for a while. And that will mean that Yasaitis will head to the free throw line. The definition of a free throw. Lunyam visibly unhappy. Now 14 of 20 from the free throw line for the Lithuanian side. Dijon 10 of 11 on their end. And another whistle. This time it's an offensive foul. Bit of a makeup call perhaps. Kupchis knocking over Loum. And there's a lot of pushing going on. So 30 seconds left here in the third. Holston going for the 2-for-1. Gets the three-pointer to fall. He's really heating up here in the second half. Give him 17 points on the game. And we've seen this before from Holston. Very streaky shooter. He's got 3 three-pointers now. Kariauskas can't finish. Loum comes away with the rebound. 5 seconds. They got to go fast. Julien pulls up for 3. Oh, just a little short at the end of the third quarter. Dijon 68. Lietkabelis 64. 31 points in that corner, plus 11 quarter for Dijon. Definitely their best performance of the game. see that the score line 68-64, and this is surely to be a very exciting fourth quarter and final 10 minutes of action. Let's listen into the huddle. As you see the statistics, both teams still shooting very well from the field. Dijon 57% overall, Lietkabelis 55%. Both teams with 8 made three-pointers thus far and shooting over 50% from three. And it's all you can really ask for as a basketball fan. When you see the highlights of that third quarter, so much going on. Lietkabelis doing it especially with the ball movement and player movement, finding open cutters. Dijon doing it more in transition, and especially off of their steals and just looking to run. They got a number of uncontested shots in that third quarter.
Don't forget, turn down, 4, 5 here, invert, you have solution. La passe, it's easy. Ok, c'est bien, Jérémy. Obi, attaque the close out. Next offense.
So 5 made three-pointers in that quarter for Dijon. And that obviously really helps. 15 of the 31 points coming from the three-point line. They also limited Lietkabelis to just 4 made field goals in that third quarter. Meanwhile, in the other Group C game, Bamberg with a 3-point lead, 81-78, just 7 seconds left in that game. And Jamar Wilson back in the game for Lietkabelis. See how Olsen hounding him. Kakarevic, no good. Julien the rebound. And Julien the long three. Can't hit it. Holston trying to keep it alive, but taps it over to Valinskis. Valinskis gets a high screen from Kupchis. Tarolis, nice pass. Kakarevic, easy dunk. Again, the passing from this Lithuanian side is uncanny. They find the open man. And Magano got caught in the wrong position. And Kakarevic throws down the soft two-handed dunk. Loom. Two-man action with Julien. Loom takes off, almost threw it down over Kupchis. And a 7-1 big man almost ending up on the poster. But Loom draws a foul. We'll head to the free throw line. Nice pass there from Julien. You see the extension. Just unfortunate to not get the ball to go through the rim, but smart foul there from Kupchis, his third. Make Loom earn it from the free throw line. And he knocks down the first. One for two. And we'll see if Obi Emegano can get going. Has still yet to attempt a shot in this game. Emegano came in averaging almost 9 points per game. And Chasson called for the foul, trying to prevent Kupchis from posting up. So he'll come to the bench, pick up his fourth personal. You see him trying to front. And Kupchis, a bit of a flop, but you know, smart play. Get the referee to blow the whistle. Valinskis stops, and a steal from Julien. Another one, pass up ahead. Holston transition three, of course it goes down. He's on fire here in the second half. And Julien, definitely one of his more incredible performances. Another steal, another assist for him. Holston with 20 points and another steal. 3-on-1. Holston to Julien, lays it in with the left-handed windmill layup. And that's gonna lead to a timeout. Exciting action here in Dijon as they extend the lead to the largest of the game. 8 points now, 74-66. They've been able to convert that defense into offense. You see here, Julien relentless, and Holston confident. Three-pointer in transition. Another steal that makes 13 steals on the game now. 5 for Julien, 4 for Holston. They've been Holston 20 points, 4 of 8 from 3. He's got 5 assists, Julien 7 assists. And again, that starting backcourt. Julien, 6 feet tall, Holston 5'8", doesn't matter. They've both produced major contributions. See the assist turnover ratio, almost 2-to-1 for Dijon. Meanwhile, Lietkabelis barely over 1-to-1 ratio. So a lot of smiles here in the stands as this team has shown the relentlessness here, especially defensively, causing so much trouble with their active hands. They look for Yasaitis. Dimic back in for Kuchis, another near turnover. Valinskis pull up 3, big shot, Valinskis. And that will quiet the crowd. It also cuts the deficit back down to 5. And that's Ware, another long 2, as Dijon looking for their 4th victory of the BCL season. Doing a lot of things right here in the second half. Offensive foul called on Ziga Dimic. The illegal screen. Take another look here. Dimic. As Julien did a good job of fighting through the screen, forcing the referee to call something. Holston, another 3-pointer for the big, small guard. It's his 5th one of the night. He's got 23 to lead all scorers. And another offensive foul, again on Dimic. So things unraveling, and a technical foul called on Nenad Chanak as well. He can't believe it. So both head coaches now with a technical foul apiece. We've also seen 2 players thrown out of the game. So this one's had a little bit of everything. And Dijon now up 10 with the ball. Dimic, that's a very tough call. That's just pretty much a screen. So already 4 team fouls on Lietkabelis in the quarter as Holston gets another free throw. And Ware inside. Again, a chance to show that soft touch. And Magano, good hustle, keeps the ball alive. And they reset. Got to get out on Holston. He can knock that down. He can knock that down. He can knock that down. The long 3-pointer. And you see the smile. He can't help himself. He's been unstoppable here in the 3rd and 4th quarters. 27 points now, 6 3-pointers made for David Holston. And all of a sudden, the lead has ballooned to 14 as Valinskis knocks down to 3 to quiet the crowd. But David Holston, we've seen this before from him. When he sees that ball go through the net, he feels like he can make every shot. And Kalinowski is almost daring him to take that long shot. Julien can't hit a 3 of his own. But we've seen Holston do this before, as Jasaitis almost got the long 3. Kalinowski the long rebound, and they go inside to Dimech. But David Holston had 29 points against Rosa Bamberg. That's his season high so far. He's had 2 other games of 20, but tonight already with 27, and we still got over 5 minutes to play here in the 4th. And to break that time, Gavin Ware with the rebound. And David Holston looking for the ball. Julien to Loom, and Loom lays it up and in. Nice and easy. Another assist for Axel Julien. A nice dive to the hoop by Loom. Kalinowskis over to Kakarevich. And Kalinowskis is interesting. He's pretty much the leading scorer for this team at 10.4 points per game. Also takes the most shots, 9 field goal attempts, but tonight, very quiet, very passive. He's only taken 4 shots. And the missed layup there from Dimech. Valinskis gets another 3-pointer to the fall. So this one's far from over, folks. Just a 10-point game. And just as quickly as Dijon built up this lead, they could give it away if they're not careful. Valinskis, though, with 20. Holston, another 3. Short this time for the... Oh, the travel. No travel called. Jasaitis left open. Uh-oh, timeout. The lead's back down to 7. From 14 to 7 in a matter of moments. And the 3-pointer is such a weapon. We'll take another look here. Valinskis. 1, 2, 3. 4. Whoa. No travel called. And on the other end, Jasaitis, another 3-pointer. So it's time actually to mention that Paulius Valinskis is 6 for 6 from the field for 20 points. And he's 6 for 6 from 3, and he has 7 rebounds. So Paulius Valinskis definitely feeling it. Meanwhile, Jasaitis now with 17 points. He's 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. And those two are the only players in double figures for Lietkabelis. Meanwhile, Dijon so far with 4 players in double figures. Pearson with 11, Ware with 12, Julien with 16, and of course Holston with 27. So just over 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. So Holston brings the ball up the floor. Amigano. Holston again. Using up some clock. They go inside to Ware. The double team comes. Ware back out to Holston. The long 3 on the way. Another one. And another one. And another one for David Holston. He's got 30. His season high for the season. And another technical foul. Let's see who they call it on. It's on Chanek. So he's been thrown out the game, right? Second technical foul? Or did they call it on the bench? And that does mean that Chanek will get his walking papers and head to the locker room early. So once again, this is the 3rd member of these clubs to make the long walk of shame into the tunnel
for an early shower, even though, of course, don't think the coach has showered, but the frustration boiling over for Nedat Chanak as Holston hits another technical free throw and continues to add to his season high. So Dijon back up 11. Kakarevich off balance, no good, and Magano the rebound. And seems like Dijon finding Pearson inside, and that's a hard foul. And we'll see Pearson in a bit of pain. A nice find from Holston. Kakarevich was behind the play, and it seems like Pearson's lower back took the brunt of that damage. So Pearson will head to the free throw line for his first 2 free throws of the night. Gets the first one to drop. It's really been a tremendous second half for Dijon. Already 53 points after just getting 37 in the first 20 minutes. And although Pearson can knock that, they still got 3 more minutes to go. And short there from Kariauskis. Holston to transition 3. That was a heat check. Quick shot, probably not the best shot for Holston. Kalinowskis, who has yet to miss a shot over Kakarevich. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to be a travel. Not a Euro step, that's just a travel. You see Kakarevich gets inside, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time the 4-step move gets rightfully called for a travel. 21 turnovers for Lietkabelis. You don't have to look at any other stat besides that one to understand why they're in this hole right now, down 12. And Magano over to Ware. Triple team, kicks it out. Holston, extra pass to Pearson. Passes on the 3, gets inside, and 1. Pearson heads back to the free throw line. Perfect possession for Dijon. They use up all the clock. They get the basket, and they'll head to get a chance for the free throw as Dimec fouls out of the game. And that was a Euro step executed properly. Pearson again missing the free throw. And 58% from the field, Dijon, as it stands. Belinskis, drive and kick. Kalinowskis for 3, no good. And Kakarevich ends up with the offensive rebound and 2 free throws on the way. And it looks like Ware will be called for his 5th personal foul, so he fouls out. Alexandre Chasson checks in for him. Kakarevich, first free throw is good. So 2 for 2 for him. Pearson breaks through the press. They pull it back out. And Magano. And another foul will be 2 more free throws for Obi Emagano. Finally a chance for him to get his first points of the night. And take a look at all the different players and of course the coach
that exited the game early. Timeout on the floor. Lietkabelis calling their final timeout of the game. And that's the assistant coach, Robertas Kunchaitis, and of course Sandis Puskevich stepping up in the absence of Nenad Chanak. You see the three-point numbers. Both teams still shooting very well overall. 12 made three-pointers each. Both teams still shooting better than 52%, as Dijon's actually at 58%. The rebounding numbers were heavily in favor of Lietkabelis, 32-21, but that hasn't mattered, as Dijon has managed 7 more made field goals and also just 2 less free throws. And that's really helped them out so far, thanks to all their steals and forced turnovers. They've only had 10 turnovers compared to 21 for Lietkabelis. And Megano gets on the board with his first point. (94-80), under 2 minutes to go. And another steal. This time it's Pearson. Does he attack? And he will head back to the free throw line as they call the foul in the reach. But how many bad passes have we seen from Lietkabelis? Just throwing the ball away to the opposition. The hustle from Valinskis. Pearson gets that free throw to fall. Kalinauskis kicks it out. Valinskis, nice closeout from Julien. See the quick feet defensively. And a foul off the ball will send Kupchis back to the free throw line. And they call Julien for the hold on that screen, trying to get around. Jamar Wilson comes back in with his team down 16. Wilson with 8 points in the first half. Hasn't scored since. Haven't really called his name much since the opening 20 minutes. So 2 free throws for Kupchis. See the pressure here in the backcourt from Lietkabelis. And dangerous pass, but it gets over to Pearson. Gets around the double team, looking for a guard. Julien de Chasson. Ball deflected out of bounds, but it will stay with Dijon. 6 seconds on the shot clock. And Megano for 3. No good. Long rebound ends up with Wilson. He pushes it. Valinskis back out to Yasaitis for 3. That's short. And another foul, so more free. Oh, they actually give them the and one continuation. So Kupchis will head back to the free throw line, trying to complete the 3-point play. Chasson fouls out of the game. So Dijon running out of players to put out on the court. Chasson's fouled out, Ware's fouled out, and of course Leloup was ejected. Coop just completes a three-point play. .11-point game, 58 seconds left. They got to be careful. They don't want to turn it over. Pearson attacks, another and one. Oh, they call it travel. Wow. We've seen some phantom calls here tonight. Let's see, 1-2. Kind of a little bit of a hesitation as Wilson quickly gets back on the other end, so it's down to 9. Loom down to Julien. Pearson lobs it up, Loom, oh, bricks it, and then commits the foul. So this is not the way to close out a game if you're Dijon. Some sloppy play. You see here again the 1-2. I think that hesitation just kind of confused the referee a little bit. So Kupchis, who now has 11 points, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 2 more to come. Gets another one. And Kupchis, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Not bad for the big man. And Magano looking to split the double team, draws a foul on Valinskis. So Magano heading back to the free throw line. Gets that one. All his points coming from the charity stripe here tonight. Could be the 20th made free throw for Dijon. And of course I jinxed it. So they go to 19 for 24. Door still slightly open. Kupchis lays it up and in, 6-point game. Pearson gets it. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical, and then they foul Pearson. See Pearson just playing keep away. Free throw's good for Pearson, as he has a chance to get his 18th point of the night. Some impressive performances up and down the score sheet as Dijon manages 99 points so far. Meanwhile, the Lietkabelis, who came to this one not scoring more than 77 in an away game, will take a loss despite scoring 91. So at the end of this one, Dijon gets the big win at home over the Lietkabelis, 99-91. It's just the 4th win of the season for Dijon, but it's a big win nonetheless. And this loss makes things very tough for Lietkabelis to advance to the playoffs. But what a game we were treated to. 190 points combined between the two teams. Some great shooting. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field. Some intensive defense. A lot of steals, a lot of threes. Teams combining for 24 made threes. And these Lietkabelis players showing their appreciation to the fans, especially those who traveled all the way from Lithuania. And a little traditional clapping here in Dijon. At the Palais des Sports, Jean-Michel Geoffroy. So we'll take a look at the statistics from the game in just a moment.
as well as the highlight package. Number of highlights to choose from. A couple of players with some great performances. Of course, the MVP of this game, none other than David Holston, 31 points on 10 of 18 shooting. You see the overall stats for both teams, very impressive. Both teams knocking down the inside and outside shots, as well as getting pretty much identical free throw numbers. And the other stats, the rebounding number +6, only 19 rebounds for Dijon. You won't see a team win that many games with only 19 rebounds and lose the rebound differential by 16, but the turnovers were the difference here tonight. +11 in favor of Dijon in terms of being able to create points off those turnovers. They had 33 points off those 22 turnovers. You see the game leaders, Holston, 31 points. Julien with 9 assists and 5 rebounds, also 5 steals to go with his 16 points. Incredible number there. Jamar Wilson did end the game with double figures, 10 points and 2 steals for him. But I'd say the player of the game for Lietkabelis, none other than Paulius Valinskis, 20 points on 6 of 6 shooting from the field, also 7 rebounds. And you see there, Yasaitis as well, 17 points. Pearson finishes with 18. A lot of players putting points on the board, getting contributions from all over the place. It's also a game that featured a couple of technical fouls, some ejections, a coach getting ejected, had a little bit of everything. But that's why we watch this beautiful competition. Teams want to win. They play with a lot of passion, a lot of heart. And we'll check out the highlights of the game. There's so many to choose from. But again, David Holston, 31 points, 4 steals, 6 assists, 7 made threes. That's a season high for him. Like I said, Julien all over the place. He played 35 minutes, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 steals. His +13 point differential was the highest on the team. Ryan Pearson with 18 points on 6 of 9 shooting, also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals himself. And Gavin Ware consistently mid-range jump shots, 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Meanwhile, for Lietkabelis, again, we talked about Valinskis and Yasaitis, but Kupchas finishes the game with 15 points and 7 rebounds, also 3 assists. And then Jamar Wilson with his 10 points and 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So these two teams can be very proud of their effort here tonight. Lietkabelis will be back at home next week in a big game against Ike. Meanwhile, Dijon will be back in action as well, obviously, in Belgium as they head to the Lotto Arena to play against Telenet Giants of Antwerp. Antwerp, with a win, would qualify for the playoffs. So obviously, they'll be looking to do just that. Broza Bamberg has clinched a playoff spot in Group C, so that final spot in Group C up for grabs. Antwerp with a chance to get it next week. Dijon will be looking to stop that. Meanwhile, Lietkabelis would have to win their last 2 games in order to keep themselves in contention for that last playoff spot. But today was all about David Holston heating up from beyond the arc. He knocked down a few in a row. Of course, if you think about it, they were down most of this first half, down by as many as 8. And David Holston took over in that third quarter with a 3-point shot, making things very, very difficult. But thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to do it from us here at FIBA. We will catch you next week for more game days. Game day 13, 2 more to go. We'll also leave you with the updated standings next time. So thanks again for tuning in. Have a good night.